You may have heard of a program called Bully Bashers. They've recently been at Heritage Hills High School. Hello and welcome to WJTS in.form. I'm Bill Potter, and joining me in the studio are two Bully Bashers, and that is Katie Himes and Mike Jones. Welcome both of you to the show.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk about what is Bully Bashers. What's the organization?
Bully Bashers is a program that I came up with about 2 years ago, and what my goal was to go into the schools and talk to kids about different types of bullying, ways that you can be bullied, and what you can do if you're in that situation.
So really this is a program to go into schools, high school or grade school?
We actually do K through 12, so we've been pretty much everything. We've actually talked to some college students as well.
Okay, now, and you were at Heritage Hills High School to do a program. Did that go well?
Went very well.
It did?
Very well. It was a great experience, and we love seeing the kids' faces and love to see how they react to what we have to say, and it shows that they really understand, and it's good for the kids to understand, especially about bullying, because not a lot of kids really take in the fact that bullying is really not a good thing. It's not a positive thing. You shouldn't enforce it, and I feel like we feel that when the kids do things like pick on each other, call each other names, they don't think about that stuff. They don't think about if it's bad, because it's just joking, but it can affect somebody very much,
Is there what's the difference between, I guess, just being friendly with somebody in one way, but then maybe going too far with bullying? How do you know the difference?
We get that question a lot. We get it a lot from students who at the end of our program will be like, well, my friend was picking on me. And so I think that if there is a fine line between what's bullying and what's joking, because oftentimes somebody might consider somebody a bully when they weren't really trying to be facetious and they weren't really trying to be mean or hurtful. They were just joking, and a person doesn't know how to interpret that. So what we encourage students to do is, if it's your friend, if it's somebody that you've known, ask them, be honest with them, be like, hey, I didn't really like the way that made me feel. Did you mean it to come across this way? So we encourage kids to communicate with each other and find out what the real issue is.
Okay, for some reason I'm thinking you were at Ohio, at a college in Ohio?
I'm Miss Ohio Collegiate.
Okay,
So,
I knew that there was, okay.
Yes.
Wow, all right, and how did you get together to get this started?
We actually went to high school together, and Mike came to our high school when I was a senior. So we didn't really know each other. I knew of him. He always was dancing in the hallways, and everybody talked about how talented he is, and he really is. And so I knew of him, and then what happened was I was actually putting on a benefit to raise money for Bully Bashers about a year and a half ago, and I asked Mike if he would come dance. And after the program, he shared with me, that he had been a victim of bullying as well, and so it was something that was important to him. So we found out that we had that common ground, and now we're just the best of friends.
What is the presentation? What do you do?
Well, we go in, and the kids come in and they're all excited to hear what we got to say, and we introduce ourselves and we tell them where we're from, what we do, and we kind of just express what we went through, and they really relate to that, and that we kind of get comfortable with them on a level that they're not all excited anymore and they really want to listen. And then usually after a couple minutes go by, they want to know, because we tell them about she sings opera and I dance, and also I can record my own music. And they love, and we express the fact that if you have a dream, follow it, and don't let no one tell you that you can't do it. So basically it's just like a go get it type of program. And the kids be like, oh, I want to see you dance, I want to hear you sing. And when we do it, their face light up, and it's that makes them feel like I can do it,
Well, you're probably relating to them better than I would, for instance, because you're cool. You're with them. You're at their
cool.
level.
He's very cool. I'm not really the cool one. They like him more than me because he can break dance, and all I can do is sing opera. So.
Well, I can't do either one. So, there are different levels of bullying.
There's 4 different types of bullying, and we address the 4. So the 4 that we talk about are verbal, physical, cyber, and social bullying. And what we do is when we hit the type of bullying that we experienced, we tell our personal stories. And then in addition to that, we go through what you can do if you're being bullied, who you can talk to, really knowing the signs of if it's really a bullying situation or not, and those sorts of things.
Okay, now you're working to put a pageant on in Santa Claus.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, basically, I compete in pageants, and I have my entire life. And when I was in middle school, I was bullied for doing pageants, believe it or not. And so pageants are always something that I've loved to do. And I wanted to come up with a fundraiser that I enjoyed, but also that other people could enjoy as well. And so I thought, what better idea than to put on a pageant, because I know about that.
Okay.
And so we actually had our first pageant in Kentucky this past September, and it grew and it became really popular, and so we're able to expand to Indiana and Ohio. So we're actually giving state titles now.
So will this be a state title in
It
Santa
will
Claus
be-
or like a
It will
division?
be- It will be Miss Indiana Bully Basher, Miss Teen Indiana Bully Basher. There's 4 age divisions, so
Oh, okay.
they will have the state title of Indiana title.
What are the 4 age divisions?
Little Miss, which is 5 to 8, preteen, which is 9 to, I'm going to tell you wrong, 13,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
And then teen, which is 14 to 17, and Miss is 18 to 24.
If somebody needed information, because obviously watching this, they're not going to necessarily retain
Right.
that. Is there a website?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. All of the information is on our website, which is www.bullybasher.com. There's a pageants tab on there, and it has all the information about rules and regulations, ages, what the contestants will wear, and how to apply. And you can do all of that online.
Okay, and the deadline for entry is?
June 1st.
Okay, so they need to do that soon.
Yes.
And then, is it from the area or can you be anywhere in
It's from
Indiana?
anywhere. It's an open
Okay.
pageant. So we are welcoming girls from Kentucky. We're welcoming girls from Ohio. Basically, we just want girls to come compete and have a good time, because this pageant is basically just for fun. You know, it's something that girls who love to compete can come do because they love to compete. And you don't have to have any experience. If you love to wear a dress, you should come to our pageant, because that's what it's about, is making girls feel good about themselves.
And this is going to be held June
14th
and where?
and 15th. It's going to be
14th and
held,
15th.
yes. The 14th is going to be like an orientation registration kind of thing. We want the contestants to really get to know each other and make friends. And then the actual pageant is going to be on the 15th, and it's going to be at the Santa Claus Community Center. But the location for the 14th is still to be determined. So
Okay.
we're working on that.
And we'll get that on the website. And
Yes.
if you're participating, obviously you're going to get some
Yes.
information on that.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, well, if there is something that you could say to somebody right now about bullying, you know, what would that be, each of you?
What I would say to someone, I feel that bullying is never cool. Bullying someone is not the right way to go. And being on the receiving end of that, I know personally, is not fun. It's not fun at all. And I encourage you to not let words, people, or anything break you down to the point that you want to give up. Because I was to that point, and I found a way to take what they said and use it as a motivation. So I encourage kids, teenagers, even if you're having a bad day, as an adult going to your work and you're just not having a good day, I just want to tell you that if you just take a breath, breathe, and really think, you'll be all right, and just smile. Because if you really think about it, your day comes out the way you make it, and your life comes out the way you make it. So don't let things get you down, because it's always a brighter day.
I think that in addition to that, you never truly know what's going on with somebody. So it's easy to make somebody a target if you don't understand what they do. You know, when I was in middle school, I have an autoimmune disease that I deal with every day. And so it made it impossible for me to gain weight because I was in pain. And so people didn't know that about me. So when I got called names like anorexic and bulimic, it tore me down, because I didn't understand why they would pick on me when they knew nothing about me. So I think that my main piece of advice is find out about somebody. You know, if you don't understand if they break dance or if they do pageants or if they sing opera and you don't understand that, don't pick on them just because you don't understand it, because it could be something that's really cool. Mike is a really, really talented dancer, so to be bullied for being a dancer just doesn't seem fair. So I think that my main piece of advice would just be to really try to understand where people are coming from and understand people's different backgrounds.
Okay, and they find out more again by bullybasher.com.
Bullybasher.com. Yes.
Okay, well, thanks to Mike Jones and Katie Himes, who have been our guests. They are in the area working to help do a fundraiser for Bully Bashers. And they were recently at Heritage Hills High School, and there will be a pageant coming up in the middle of June. Make sure you register by June 1st by going to their website. Thanks to both of you for coming in. And please don't bully anybody. Thank you for watching WJTS Inform. We are local people watching local people.